That was a good question. Anything else that you guys want to talk about?
If you do, because I think I know the answer, but if you have a bad week, whatever, I change my meal, cut, whatever, on Thursday mornings. I've had kind of a bad week, so my last average isn't where it needs to be. Would you still just keep on the same plan, or would you go on and move on?
Yeah, so that sounds like you've got bad data. So the changes or lack of changes in your body weight isn't due to the fit of the meal plan to your body's needs. It's due to extraneous factors that aren't incorporated in the meal plan. Would that be an accurate assessment of what's going on?
Yeah. I didn't have a great couple of days, so my last week hasn't been the average it should be, but because I had bad meals.
Right. So stick to your meal plan.
Okay.
So go back to stay exactly where you are. Don't make any changes on bad data.
Okay.
And so, Key and I had a bit of a crazy evening last night. We went out. We got some pizza. I know. It was wild. So this would be a bad day to be like, my body weight is up. And it's like, well, yeah, dude, because you didn't eat on your meal plan. And so if you're not in range for the changes that you want to see, but that is due to extraneous factors, like you're super stressed out at work, you didn't sleep for 3 days, you went on a cupcake bender, these are all things that happen to people, then don't change the meal plan. Stick to it until you've got good data coming from the meal plan and be like, okay, the meal plan doesn't seem to be putting me in range, then you change the meal plan. But yeah, make sure you're working off of good data. And don't sweat it. We're not here for perfection, guys. If if you go out one night and you're like, God, I really meant to eat clean, but I just didn't. Don't beat yourself up. Guilt is a worthless emotion. There's no sense in feeling guilty about eating something because it doesn't make you better. It just makes you feel crappy. Just be like, cool, I got this. I'm back on plan. Redouble your efforts and move forward. Or if you're going to make a conscious choice and be like, look, we're going to Abacus or something like that, and I'm going to go and I'm going to have some great food and I'm going to enjoy it. Don't feel guilty about the little blip you see in your data the next couple of days. Just get back on plan. You'll be right back where you want to go. It's about consistency and long term. It's not about being perfect for a short term.
Moving up to bulk 2, does that mean 8 to 10 weeks restarts?
Yeah, so there we get into kind of some fuzzy stuff. So your 8 to 10 weeks starts when you jump into that range of either adding mass or losing it. And so if you've added a pound this whole time, chances are you're not even starting your 10 weeks yet. So you could uptick bulk 2, start adding. Somebody do what's 0.7% of 165 pounds? It's like a pound a week. And so if you're adding a pound a week, if you start that, then you start your 8 to 10 weeks.
Okay, kind of a question on that. So when we first started the program, I started pretty much when we started. So I started losing the weight, and that was kind of on a maintenance plan in my mind.
Yep.
So would that be my start of my 10 weeks, or when I started the actual cut program?
Has it been a consistent loss over time? Or did you even out for a couple weeks?
I had an initial drop, and then it flowed to the range. When I started cutting, first week was 4 or 5 pounds, and it was consistent 1%, almost 1% body fat.
Okay.
So.
That's going to be tough to feel out. If there were a couple weeks in there where you plateaued, that next drop might be the start of your 8 to 10 weeks. But go by feel, because it's also 8 to 10 weeks. And so if you're kind of nearing the end and you're seeing this kind of asymptotic flow right here where I can't really lose anymore, cool, cut it off, hit your maintenance phase, enjoy your bad self, and then figure out what you want to do after that. So that's why there's, human bodies, our bodies don't read the books. So some stuff's going to happen that we don't really account for, and we kind of have to go on feel for that stuff. And so we love to kind of set it up of do this, if this, then that, and very structured decision trees, but things like that of where did my time start? I don't know. Why don't you start it from the time that we dropped you to cut 2? And we'll see what happens.
And then I see people doing protein shakes like during the workout, the BCAAs or whatnot. When would you start considering looking into that or adding those in? I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, sure. So let's talk about that a little bit. So branched chain amino acids are the building blocks for proteins. And so you'll see in performance arenas a leucine and isoleucine rich branched chain amino acid is great at preserving muscle mass intra-workout and stopping catabolic breakdown. And so it's a very cheap performance enhancing supplement. Supplements make up roughly like 3 to 5% of body composition and performance. So it's not much. Once you get everything else dialed in, then supplementation gets, okay, well, let's work on that. And so branched chain amino acids, they are like proteins, like whey protein, but it does not require digestion. And so that's why they're pretty cool, is they can readily enter the bloodstream without digestion. So that's why you see that stuff going on. They're relatively cheap.
Do you recommend doing it, or is it really?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I mean it's well studied. It's proven. Are you gonna be like, wow, I feel awesome? No, it's not really gonna be that big of a difference, but it is measurable.
Is that the one that makes you feel like ants?
No, that's beta alanine. That's a histamine reaction from beta alanine. Yeah.
I get that from Steve. He's like, try this out.
What did Steve give you?
It was like one of those progenics thing that he said had that beta alanine, and then I felt like everything's. He was like, this will help with the lactic acid, blah blah blah.
Yeah, beta alanine's been shown to improve high intensity output. So, again, small blip on the radar, but yeah, I mean it is pretty well studied. So, yeah, I mean it is infinitely more important to get your feeding right than it is to do these supplements. But yeah, they do work. What other stuff, guys? Nothing else?
I feel like I could quit coffee, which are words I've never uttered.
I don't think so this morning.
I don't know too well. Yeah, if it's there, I want it there. But there was one day where I only had 1 cup. And the day where I had none, so.
Are you sleeping
I'm just saying
okay?
it's possible. So my sleeping hasn't really changed, right? And so now I feel like today I had 2 cups of coffee and I felt more jittery than I usually do after 2 cups. So then I was like, maybe I should just pump the brakes on this coffee. And
What time do you have coffee?
I cut myself off after 2. So usually I have one when I get in at like 9, and then if I have one after lunch, it'll be at 2. And then 2 cups is when I try to max out on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, caffeine, like a lot of things, it's susceptible to dose resistance. And so, taking a couple of weeks off every now and then is great to just like, wow, I don't need like 3 espressos to get a little blip anymore. And so, yeah, that can be appropriate, especially if you're not sleeping well. Cutting out caffeine can help. It can have the counter effect for a couple of days first, yeah, because it's a drug, so you're gonna get. Yeah, you can get headaches and be like a little bit down, and it might throw off your sleep rhythms a little bit for a couple of days. And
I was trying to do it on the weekends, and Dylan was like, can you quit coffee like on the weekday when you're not around me?
I feel like it's a very reasonable request. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what else can do with you?
It's
Yeah.
okay, everybody else gets it. Why isn't this hard?
Yeah. So awesome, guys. Anything else you guys would like to discuss or anything you'd like to share with the group?
For future life endeavors, okay, we say cardio's not really a workout. No, in general. So like when we're looking at our meal plans, like we don't consider going for a couple mile jog, run, walk, whatever as a workout. Other than coming in here, what would you consider a workout?
Anything heavy or high intensity.
Okay.
So heavy lifting, high intensity anaerobic or aerobic activity. So there's a difference between going out for like a couple mile jog and running 400 meter repeats at the track. Like there's
Running a couple miles for me is hard. So, but
yeah, but it's a different energy system. And so like the kind of aerobic endurance where I'm just going to go out like, I'm going to go hiking, something like that. Like even though you're probably elevated breathing, your respiratory system's definitely working, the type of fuel that you're using there doesn't warrant a big carbohydrate refuel, which is what we're doing when you say that you're training in the meal plan. And so that's why we say, you have to lift hard. You have to earn your carbohydrates. You really do. And so when in doubt, just keep it a rest day. And if you're like, wow, I'm really not recovering well guess what? That training is probably intense enough to warrant some carbohydrate. And so that's kind of where it is. But what we don't want is people using our meal plan, hopping on the elliptical for 40 minutes and watching some shows and getting off and being like, I worked out for greater than 90 minutes. Give me my carbs. Nope, it's not the way that works. It's a different energy system. Whereas if you're lifting heavy, we're burning sugar, you're burning glycogen, and that's going to require refuel where the carbohydrates are not going to go to fat and adipose tissue. They're going to go to refueling your muscle because you burn that carbohydrate out of your muscle.
Okay, so it's more about, like you said, the weight and intensity of that kind of versus having your heart rate up for an extended period of time. Like they usually talk about cardio is like a 20-minute heart rate up.
Well, and where is your heart rate? Because I see people, I keep looking at the board because I expect there to be a workout here, but your heart rate during high intensity CrossFit stuff is going to be in excess of 180 beats per minute pretty regularly because you're bumping up against that aerobic anaerobic threshold, and that's so you're burning sugar because you're popping into that anaerobic energy system, and while the whole thing might be aerobic, you're going to be burning sugar out. Whereas if you're doing more like 120, 140 beats per minute, 150 beats per minute, that's pretty low intensity. And are you going to be burning sugars while you're doing that? Yes, some, but differently than if you're going hard.
Out of curiosity, does a spin class fall into light cardio, or does it depend on the intensity of the bike?
Does it leave you on your back gasping for breath, wondering what the hell happened? Then probably not. It's probably light cardio. Yeah. Spin classes, from stepping out of the nutrition mindset, spin classes are miserable from a physiology standpoint, because think about the range of motion that you go through in a spin class. Your whole body is made for amazing things, and this is what we're doing. Your hip never opens. So you're going from sitting all day to sitting when you work out. That sounds terrible. Why would you do that to yourself? I'm sure it's fun, and I've heard they have great soundtracks, and the DJs are supposedly pretty killer. But as far as an athletic pursuit, remember that we're exercising as a kind of a stopgap because our lifestyles are really malformed around what our bodies are meant for. From an evolutionary perspective, our daily lives are not what our bodies are meant for. And so exercise is our way of kind of remedying that situation of okay, my body's not meant to sit at work all day and then go home and go back to bed. I've got to do something else to get my body to accommodate all this other stuff. So, if that's our goal, to have our body be okay with the lifestyle we've chosen for it, and that's what we're doing with exercise, spin's dumb. And so are a lot of other things. But yeah, it drives me crazy because people come in and they're like, I have chronic back pain, and it's okay, well, what's up with your back? And they're I don't know, it just really hurt after spin class the other day. And it's I wonder why. You sit all day and then you do this, and yeah, your hip flexors are that long. So I don't know.
I did a soul cycle class a few weeks ago, and it was entertaining, to say the least.
That's what I hear. Supposedly it's a riot. Yeah. I'm not saying you shouldn't go and try it. Just understand what you're doing.
Don't worry, I'm not quitting my spin class.
Yeah.
I'm staying here.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
No, go try it. I'm not worried about a spin class. A spin class will never replace what we do here, and yeah. And if you think it does, you're missing the point. So yeah, go try it. I have one
of my great girlfriends, for fun, wanted to be a spin class instructor here. So I went down to Houston. She went and did the whole instructing thing. I listened to all her music, went to her classes.
Yeah, try it all. Go do Pilates, do some rock climbing.
I did a free class.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I need help. I'm addicted to sugar, coffee, and spin.
Well, I feel like we're digressing a little bit, so we'll go ahead and we'll call that it for the day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you guys.